Hi friends, good morning all. So today we are going to discuss a good topic, and in this video we will going to know the complete details of the topic. The topic we call it as the operation research subject. In this operations research subject, linear programming problems. So this is complete problematic part. So linear programming problem. Again, this linear programming problem is divided into graphical method and simplex method. So first, before we are going to discuss the graphical method and simplex method, we should know what is the linear programming. Linear means what, and programming is what. Okay, linear means here the relationship between the two variables. It signifies the relationship between the two variables, that is x variable and y variable. Then the programming is called as a systematic step. It will be followed. Okay, that is called as linear programming. So here first we are going to discuss a linear programming problem. So generally here, see, LPP we call it as linear programming problem. So linear programming problem is divided into two. That is the problematic part here. So the first one is graphical method. We call it as GM, graphical method. The next one is here simplex method, SM. So these two methods are compulsory for examination point of view, and these two methods are very simple and very easy. So again, these graphical method and simplex method are divided into two here. The first one is the graphical method. See, listen here. Maximization method and minimization method or minimization model. Then simplex method also here. In simplex method also maximization method and minimization method. So these two methods are there. So in these two methods, so first we are going to discuss the first method. Okay, the first method is here graphical method. That is maximization problem. So just I have written one problem here. You observe carefully. So solve the following LPP using graphical method. Solve the following using graphical method. So here the first one is here. So listen, my dear friends. See, maximize z is equals to 12x1 plus 16x2. This maximization is called as objective function. So you have to remember this is the objective function. The next one is subject to constraints or subject to condition, we can say. So here, based on the different universities and based on the different boards, they will give different words. They will mention or they will spell the different words here. That is subject to, that is 10x1 plus 20x1 less than or equal to 120. This is the equation number 1. Okay, so we have to solve these equations. The solving equation is important here. The next second equation is 8x1 plus 8x2 less than or equal to 80. This is equation number 2. Then non-negativity, x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so here see, we need to focus on objective functions and constraints. These two constraints here. So don't focus on the non-negativity. See, when x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 0, that is, we can say that is the negative, not negative, that is a positive value. Okay, so we are going to solve only these three steps only in the problem. So the step number 1 and step number 2 and step number 3 and step number 4, 4 steps are there. The first step what we are going to do means here an equation should be, we need to perform the equation. So this problem, see, 10x1 plus 20x2 less than or equal to sign is there, less than or equal to 120, less than or equal to 120. Okay, so listen here. This sign is given means less than or equal to sign is given means the problem belongs to maximization problem. Okay, so here see step number 1. In step number 1, what we are going to do, simply we are going to convert the unequation into equation with a small and simple step. Okay, you observe carefully. So first see, first convert unequation into equation to find x1 comma x2 values. So here these constraint 1 and constraint 2 are the unequation values. That unequation should be converted into equation. Okay, so here first listen here carefully. The first 10x1 plus 20x2 less than or equal to 120. The same step I will write here. Say 10x1 plus 20x2 is equals to, instead of less than or equal to, I am writing is equals to 120. So it is converted into equation. Okay, when is equal to symbol is given means it is converted into equation. Then next over here, see, very simple. Assume when x1 is equals to 0, Then what about x2? x2 is question mark. So here simply 10 into, in the place of x1 I will write a 0. Okay, plus 20 into x2 is equals to 120. So here 10 into 0, dear students, that is 0 only. Then 20 into x2 is equals to 120. So x2 is equals to 120. Simply this number 20 will be divided by 120 divided by 20. That is, see, 21s are 26 are. We got x2 value is equal to 6. Okay, x2 value is equals to 6 here. Then here, see, listen carefully. x1 value is 0. We got 0. Okay, again we have to write here points. x1 value and x2 value points here we have to write. So here, see, x1 0, x2 6. Okay, x1 0, x2 6. This is a equation number 1. Okay, so we completed the equation number 1. Then go for the equation. Listen here. Not we did not completed equation 1. So listen carefully. So we completed x1 value. We got the x1 value. So we need to find out the x2 value also. So here that is a equation number 1. That is 1b. Assume x2 is equals to 0. When x2 is equals to 0, see, 10x1 plus 20 into x2 value 0 is equals to 120. 20x1 is equals to 120. x1 is equals to 120 divided by 10. See, 10 ones are 10, 12s are. That is 12. So points I will write here. So x1 is equals to 12. See, x1 is equals to 12 and x2 is equals to 0. The same values we are going to write in this box. So this box is very much important while we are drawing a graph. Okay, on the graph paper. So x1 is equals to 12 and x2 is equals to 0. Okay. Then next here we go for the equation number 2. So equation 1 completed. Then we go for the equation number 2. So listen here. We are solving the equation number 2. Simply I am writing here 8x1 plus 8x2. See, an equation is converted into equation. Okay. So we will write the equation number. See, 8x1 plus 8x2 is equals to 80. When or simply assume, okay, when assume x1 is equals to 0, that is 8x1 plus 8x2 is equals to 80. Okay, so here in the place of x1 I will write 0. So 8 into 0, 8 only. 8 are not 8, that is 0. 8 zeros are 0. Yes. So here x2 is equals to 80 by 8. 8 ones are, then 8 tens are. x2 is equals to 10. Okay. So I will write the points. So we got the values. Points here. Points is equals to x1 value is 0 and x2 value is 10. Okay. x1 value is 0, x2 value is 10. The next, see, continuation. So we need to find out the x1 value now. Okay. So here x1, 8x1 plus 8x2 is equals to 80. Assume when x2 is equals to 0, that is 8 into x1 plus 8 into 0 is equals to 80. That is 8 into x1 is equals to 80 by, see, x1 is equals to 80 by 8. Again we got 10. See, 8 ones are, okay, 8 tens are 80. Again we'll write the points. Points here. So x1 how much? x1 is, how much we got? x1 is 10. Then x2 is equals to, we got 0. Okay. So the first equation we completed and the second equation also we completed. So these points should be written. See, these points should be written in this box. Why? Because from this box only we are going to pick up the values and we are going to point on a graph sheet. Okay, in this way, just write. So these are the x1 values and x2 values. So the point value, how much we got? Points here. X1 is equals to 0 and say x1 is equals to 0, x2 is equals to 10. Then next over here, x1 is 10, then x2 is 0. So these are the values. Okay. So these are the values. So for the first equation completed and the second equation also we completed. Okay. So the first step we completed and we got the different equation points also. Then the step number 2 is here representation of graph. So we are dealing with the graphical method only. So here representation of graph. So in the second step what we have to do means here, see equation points and equation points 2. So we have to write here in the box x1 we got 0 and x2 is 6 here. That was the first equation here. So x1 and here is 12 and x2 is 0. Okay. Then equation points here x1 value and x2 value 0, 10 and 10 and 0. So after getting all these points, this is the second step, representation of values on the graph paper. So here we have to draw in this way. So you observe carefully how many points, what is the minimum point and what is the maximum point here. 0 is the minimum and the maximum is here, 12 is the maximum. So we have to create a graph here like this. See, in examination point of view, you ask for the graph paper, otherwise you go for drawing the graph paper with the help of a scale and pencil in the answer sheet. So listen here. So we need to draw like this here. So these values are called here x1 values and these values are called as x2 values. See, these values are called as x2 values. X2 values. So first I am writing the equation points. First one. So x1 is 0. See, x1 is 0 and x2 is see x2. See, x1 is 0 and x2 is here. We got 12. Wait, sorry. See, x1 is 0 and x2 is 6 here, like this. Okay. See, vertically. So, x1 is 0 and x2 is 6. So, here 6 we have to just put a point. The next x1 is 12. See, x1 is 12 and x2 is, see, x2 how much, sir? x2 is here 0. So, this 6 and 12 draw a straight line like this. After drawing the straight line, go for the equation 2 points. x1 is 0, x2 is here 10, x2 is here 10. Then x1 is 10 and x2 is 0. See, x1 is 10 here, x2 is 0. So this is the point. So just draw a straight line. Then you observe carefully. See, this is the first point, that is A, and this is B, and this is a C, the intersecting point here. See, intersecting point. This is a C, and this is a D here. So you observe carefully. So why we are writing means here we have to place all these values in the objective function. See, the constraint number 1 and constraint number 2 part we completed. Then in the step number 3, representation of all these values in the objective function. Then we are going to get what is the maximum profit we are going to get. Okay, so listen carefully. So these are the values. See, in the 0, x1 value is 0 and x2 value is 0. Then here x1 value is 10, x2 value is 0. Then this is the point, intersecting point. You take the help of scale. See, observe carefully. See, if we draw a straight line, we are going to get x1 value is 8. Again, you observe carefully this side also. See, x2 is here 2. So x1 is 8 and x2 is 2. Okay, A and B. Okay, this is a B value and this is C value and this is a D value. Okay, D is here 0, 6. So listen here. Again, see, draw one straight line and this here. These are the two constraints. So according to these subjective constraints, all the values we represented on a graph paper. Okay, all the values we represent on a graph paper. And my dear students, listen carefully. The important point is here. See, in the constraints here, less than or equal to sign is there. Less than or equal to sign means here we have to decide the feasible region. Feasible region is important here. So after getting all these values, see inside less than or equal to symbol, it shows the left side. So simply draw all these lines. So these lines are called feasible region lines. If our business in this place, then we are going to get the maximum profit. This is a maximum profit 8. See, x1 is 8 and x2 is a 2 here. Okay. So next we will see the objective function, placing all these values into objective function now. Okay. So we completed step number 2. In the step number 3, see, you listen carefully. See, in the step number 2, we got these corner points of a graph. Then next in the step number 4, simply we have to write here. Substitute the values of A, B, C, D. We got A and B and C, D in objective function to find optimal point here. So here that is step number 3, calculation of objective function. So we have to create one table. In the table here, items, points, objective function, maximum profit here. So the items are A, B, C, D. Then points already we done in the step number 1. The points are we called as x1 and x2. 0. See, x1 is 0 in the item A, and in item A, the point x2 is 0. So we written 0, 0. Then here 10, comma 0. Then 8, comma 2. Then 6, comma 0, comma 6 here. Okay. Then objective function is here z is equals to, see, z is equals to 12x1 plus 16x2. This is the objective function. So these point values we have to place in this objective function. Then we are going to find out the maximum profit at which point we will get it. That is z is equals to 12 into x1. x1 value is 0 plus 16 into x2. x2 value also 0. So we got maximum profit is 0. Then 12 into 10, 16 into 0, that is 120. Then 12 into 8 plus 16 into 2. So we got 128. Then 12 into 0 plus 16 into 6, that is 196 here. Okay, so after getting the objective function, see, first what we done, the constraint number 1 completed, constraint number 2 completed. Then we need to place all the values into objective function. The conclusion is here, maximum point that is z is equals to 128 when the production is 8, comma 2. Okay, 8, comma 2. This is the graphical method problem. So if you need doubt, my dear students, you write in the comment section. Okay. Please mention the doubts. So we'll go for the clarifying the doubts in the doubt session also. Okay. So you listen carefully. What we done in this problem today, graphical method, we have seen. Okay. So this is the graph is very much important. So you need to find out the feasible region. Okay, feasible region is important. At this we'll end today class, and please I am requesting you to share this video among your friends, those who are in need of graphical method problem. So this is a clear explanation. So please write it out and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share among your friends. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye.